Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Thank y'all everybody for staying with us. That one was special dedication. My man Sid had been trying to get me to listen to his man Big Crit for a while. So that's a little Big Crit coming out. I believe the dude's from Mississippi or something like that. So got to show some Southern hip hop love, and hopefully you was listening, you heard your song. So I ain't got to get fussed at no more. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. At this time every week on the show, we always profile a missing and or exploited child. This week is no different. This week's missing child is Jada Brickhouse. Jada Brickhouse has been missing since January 11, 2014, which was last week. She's missing from Fairfax, Virginia. She's a 15-year-old black female, stands 5 foot, weighs 110 pounds. Once again, she was last seen on June 11, 2014. She may still be in the local area. If you have seen young Jada Brickhouse, please contact the National Center for Missing and or Exploited Children on their website, missingkids.com, or contact them by phone at 1-800-THE-LOST, 1-800-843-5678. Please, please, please keep your eyes open for young Jada. For those folks who don't know where Fairfax is, that is in the Northern Virginia area. So I'm looking for the Northern Virginia, Washington, D.C., and Southern Maryland area to keep their eyes and ears open for Jada Brickhouse. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. It's time for my sister, SY, to jump in and help us get healthy. What you got, sis?
Well, school is just about over, and some of your little ones will be going to camp, going to visit family for a few weeks for the summer, or just outside playing in the grass, playing with friends and neighbors and all that stuff. So I'm going to apologize because I didn't get to break down my work like I usually do, so I'm going to go through it as I tell it to you. But I'm going to give you some summertime illnesses. And these are illnesses that are at their peak, if not only in the summertime, and mostly affecting children. So the first thing I want you to remember is that we have mosquitoes and ticks.
Ugh.
And mosquito-borne infections are usually caused by a virus that leads to the West Nile virus. So you want to make sure that when your kids are out playing, moisture and water, these things call the mosquitoes. The grass, playing in the grass, ticks. Your pets may possibly have ticks. And you want to be careful because sometimes, most of these diseases or germs that I'm going to go through pretty much have the same symptoms. Most of them have the same symptoms. So you want to actually check your children and take them to the doctor. Do not play doctor with any of these that I'm going to go through. So Lyme disease, you want to watch out for your ticks. If you do not know I didn't want to give instructions on how to take them out. I don't want to go through that. If you think that, if you see that your child has been bitten by a tick, take the child to the hospital. Have that tick removed. What's the matter? What's the matter?
Insurance premiums. Child, I'm gonna pay.
Listen, because if you don't get the full tick out.
See, I'm country. I know how to get you.
Yeah, you don't want to do that, man.
If you leave the head in, then it can go inside their body.
So you don't want to play with trying to get it out. You really want to get it out. You don't want to pick at the tick. No pick ticking. No tick picking.
Nah, man, that joint sound crazy as hell.
So yeah, just get your child to the emergency room. Now, I'm going to make this as sweet as possible. I want you to be on the lookout for water in your backyard. I want you to be able to look in those flower beds, those flower pots, the pots you have sitting on the step with your little plants in them when it rains. If you have a plant outside and it rains heavily, just bring your plant indoors. Because if you don't dump that water or get rid of that water, you now have mosquitoes. Mosquitoes will come. And depending on the mosquito that's biting your child, you're risking West Nile virus.
I have a better If you see standing
Yep.
water, dump it out. If you
Mhm.
feed your cats and dogs with water outside, just refresh it every day or
Yeah, you
every
want to
half
get
a
rid
day
of
or
that
something.
water. Actually, you really do. That was good. Thank you. You don't want to leave it, and you don't want to leave your, well, in the summertime. I'm ashamed of anybody who leaves their dogs outside in the heat. I am a dog lover. Do not leave that dog outside in the heat, whether you gave him water or not. And it is not a plus for pets or adults to gulp down freezing cold water just because you're outside. It is not a plus. That is dangerous. You have to say something? I
Nah,
see it.
I'm country. We have lots of land for the dogs to run around and
Oh
play.
my goodness.
So
Don't
that's what
do
they
it.
do.
Don't leave
They're
the
not
dog
chained
outside.
up to a tree or nothing
No,
like that.
it's too hot. When it's real hot, don't do it. Don't do it.
If I wouldn't go outside, then don't leave them outside.
Don't.
Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Okay. Now, there are other infectious diseases that are prone to the summer. How about polio?
Polio.
Just during the
Yes,
summer?
it is. Okay, I'm going to tell you why. You want to look out for sore throats, fevers, and if the doctor diagnoses your child with meningitis in the summer, okay, because because this is a sign. It could possibly be polio. If there's any paralysis whatsoever, and again, I apologize for not having everything in a row, but there's any sign of paralysis, I can't move my finger, I can't pick up my leg, it's hard or it hurts, and your child has been diagnosed with meningitis, get that kid to a doctor. Now, we have vaccinations now that we get for our children, which help kind of prevent polio. There's not one thing that's 100%. So they're warning you to get your children to the doctor and have a test for polio.
Well, I would say anything that doesn't feel right in the summertime, especially the late summer when football seasons is starting up and they're doing training and whatnot. If the kid doesn't feel right, it could be a heat stroke, it could be dehydration, it could be anything. So if something doesn't feel right, then you might want to get checked
You
out.
just get your kid and check them out.
I'm kind of tripping even hearing the name polio, the word polio.
Yeah, you had me there too. I was like, what? Polio.
Polio.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
because
coming
I said
back.
polio? Because I mentioned polio?
Yeah,
I was
I
a
mean,
little shocked to see it.
I was pretty sure that polio was
Had been
something
eradicated?
that we didn't have to deal with it no more.
Yeah, I was a little shocked to see it as well.
Coming
And they
back
want
like
you to
the
look out
shingles.
for coughs, runny noses, any gastrointestinal problems, diarrhea or vomiting. They could be the signs that your child may have the meningitis, so you want to be on guard.
Can I tell you, I'm going to the Caribbean in a couple of weeks, and they have
Oh, yeah, we're gonna get to
mosquitoes
you.
down there that are creating joint pain. It's something that makes it very, if you get bit by these mosquitoes, they came from Africa, I want to say. But with so much traveling of people, somebody probably brought it along on a plane with them, but now it's hitting the Caribbean, and it's making all ages, their joints get messed. But once they have it once and feel like they're going to die, then they shouldn't get it again if they get bitten again. So y'all pray for me. I'm going to take some off with me if they allow it on the plane and
Oh my
spray
God.
up the place.
Go to the store. I'm going to tell you this right now. Go to the store, get some tea tree, and get some lemongrass. Okay?
Tea tree, and what do I do with
Tea
that?
tree and lemongrass.
Do I eat that?
No.
No, what am I doing?
You don't want to eat it. You don't have to worry about the
I
mosquito.
mean, yeah, then it wouldn't bother me at all because
Get
it's coming
oil
out of my
or
skin.
put it in a bottle of distilled water. Don't use faucet water. You can put it in with an oil, or you can put it in with water, and you want to spray yourself. I haven't bought insect repellent in years.
Okay. All right. Lemongrass
Put
and
in
tea tree oil.
lemongrass and tea tree.
That's the guru right there, man.
Now, the lemongrass is a better smell. You going to Jamaica?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you know it.
The lemongrass will be a better smell when you're out in the summer, out in the day and all of that jazz. So lemongrass is a better smell.
I smell natural. I don't really go for the
You
whole
know,
natural smell.
it's a nice little oil type smell. They probably will think it's your hair.
Okay, so it's a good
It's
smell.
a good
it's not
smell.
Like a
it's not a
musty
bad smell.
Okay,
Yes,
all right,
no, it's
thank
not. I wouldn't tell you to do that. Mm-mm. Okay. So now you want to also watch out, and you probably didn't think this was a summertime thing, but the flu.
The flu?
Yes.
In the summer?
The flu.
How much does
they
that
call
sound?
it para-influenza virus 3.
Say what?
Para-influenza virus 3.
Say this 4 times real fast.
Uh-huh. Para-influenza virus 3 times 4 real fast. Now it says the virus can cause the croup,
You are naming some
bronchiolitis,
old diseases.
Old people stuff.
pneumonia, or just a really bad cold.
The croup.
The
All
croup.
right. So you want to watch out for those too. And the biggest thing they tell you to be careful with, if you're sending your kids away to camp, everybody doesn't maintain your child like you maintain your child.
True. Very much true.
Okay, and when your child is sick, everyone doesn't take care of your child like you take care of your child. I can guarantee you it's going to be take this cough syrup and sit down and relax, or take this Benadryl and sit down and relax. It's not that easy. And if another child has something and they're playing around with your kid and they're doing things like sharing food, touching the same chair, or wiping the snot off their nose and touching the chair, and the next kid touches it, and that child picks up his food and he eats his food or puts his hand in his face, we have now transferred the germs. So you want to be careful. Frankly, I don't do camp, never have done camp.
So where your kids going summer?
My kids,
Yeah.
18 and 28.
I mean,
Well, what did they do?
But what did they do? You said never did camp.
Oh, no.
Don't mess with. Don't play.
I always take my kids out. In the
Yeah,
summertime,
but where they at in the summer during the
let
day
me tell
when
you
you
my
at
kids.
work?
I'm gonna tell you my kids right now. Between the hours of, let's say, 5 a.m. and 3 p.m., they're sleeping.
Damn.
Those are my kids.
What the hell they
Those are
doing all
some-
night?
Up until
Could I be your
today.
child?
Up until today,
All
they
right.
are sleeping.
All
They
right,
bust
so-
their butts with school.
Okay, seriously though.
I don't
when
mind
they
the
when they
sleep.
were young, they didn't sleep all day every
I'm
day.
telling you,
Really?
yes, they did. Yes, they did.
I'm not gonna.
Takara, no, they didn't need a summer job.
They didn't need one or they didn't have one?
They didn't need one.
That's what I asked.
I didn't find it necessary. No, they didn't have a job.
Okay.
I didn't find it necessary. They did not need one.
You mean to tell me? Cause I'm not gonna let this one go.
Go right
You
ahead.
mean to tell me that these kids slept
tell
from
you.
5 a.m. to 3 p.m. every single day, the entire youth, and they ain't go to no summer camps?
That
Let me-
house
no,
better
my
be
kids did not do
clean.
summer camp. They went maybe away to relatives for maybe one summer or a couple of weeks. They might
Okay.
go back and forth to whomever.
Well,
house
that's
is it.
legitimate, but like, don't like let
My
me
kids
sit
don't
here
do
and think
camp.
that they sat there asleep all
They
day
don't do
every
camp.
day.
Oh, let me tell you something. I kid you not. 85% of my children's time, they slept it. Even today, they still do it. Don't
Really?
bother me.
I ain't for all that sleepy life away stuff.
Don't bother me. Now that the baby's 18, of course, I'm starting
Baby
to break
18.
the sleeping habit because it's time for a job.
Mama J will sleep her life away too if I let her and whatnot. She'll sleep all
They
day.
work hard. They work hard with school. They,
Damn it,
do
I
what they
work
gotta
hard too.
do.
I don't get to
I don't
nap
mind,
all day.
I don't mind the sleep. I don't mind the sleep.
You don't mind the sleep?
Mm-mm.
Come on, man. That's the craziest thing
I
I've
don't
heard in
mind
my
the
life.
sleep.
My mother called at like
Hell
9
no.
o'clock to see if I was up, and I better be cleaning the house doing
It
something.
ain't- you don't get
You
to
ain't
sleep.
know.
You do not.
No,
I don't
chores
care.
are-
I don't
chores
care. You
are
don't
done.
get to sleep while I'm at work. You
Chores
kidding
are
me?
done.
Hell no.
And even now when I come home, Kyra, well, I don't come home anymore because I work from home, but Kyra will make dinner for me. I don't have any complaints. If she feels like sleeping, she can sleep. If I need something done, she gets it done. I don't have a
Hey,
complaint.
Mom, what time is my curfew tonight?
Ma, you're a little too big to be calling me Mom. And I'm not that old.
I'm only
Okay.
22.
So on the last note, again,
No kid of mine gonna be sleeping
keep in
while I'm at
mind,
work.
shut your mouth,
You kidding me?
fecal and oral.
Oh my gosh, I can't do it no more.
All right. And this is how they tell you these kids, this is the little thing I just went over with you. This is how they catch germs. Wash your hands when you leave the bathroom. Okay? If your kid does wipe, or if your kid doesn't wipe, they have touched the bathroom door, they have flushed the toilet, they touched the sink. Y'all make these faces and laugh, but these are how your kids catch these nasty germs. They catch nasty germs just from not being clean. For you not being cautious, keep the grass cut. If your kids are going out and they're playing in grass, make sure they're wearing dark socks, dark pants, or what have you, so that the ticks won't get on their skin. You got to cover them up.
What dark pants got to do with ticks?
I think they're
like
attracted
the light.
to certain.
Yeah, they're attracted to brightness. So you want to put dark socks on them. If they're going to wear shorts, don't keep them outside in that sun all day anyhow. But you got to be careful. The basic stuff, basic things like just being clean causes almost all of these viruses. Every last one.
We getting a hit from my sister Lady Z is listening to her. She's saying spread the word. The flu shot only covers certain strands.
That is correct.
And it's definitely different strands of the flu. So she's basically confirming what you're saying about this time of year. Even though it's the summer, we think of the winter time or the cold time or school time when you get a flu. She's agreeing.
Now there are several different branches of the flu. Now I know that if you go to the doctor and the doctor just wants to test you, they test you A and B. They stick a thing up the child's nose or they swab your throat. You want to just be careful. You don't want to do it. And then I'm going to warn you, if your children are complaining, they're coughing, they're crying, they have a sore throat. The cough is like a hacking cough. Beware again, meningitis. And you can actually look in the back of their throat. They tell you can look in the back of the child's mouth, check out the tonsils and the upper part of the mouth right by the tonsils. The bottom part of the mouth will look fine. It's the upper part of the mouth you want to look for. It'll have little spots and sores. So you want to take your baby to the doctor. Basically, just be careful with your kids. Really, I'm telling y'all, that's why I don't do camps. I won't send my kids out because nobody's going to take care of them like you will. And if one kid has germs, you might as well bank on it that your kid is going to catch it. They all play with the same toys. They touch the same things. And if they're not being clean, it's like when you walk down the New York subway and you stroll your hand down the steps.
You got germs immediately, and you don't even see them. They there.
And you want to go now and get breakfast and pick up your bagel with your hand and put it in your mouth. Fecal.
Teach your children good hygiene.
I really thought she was talking about some being a tossed salad, man, at first.
Oh, my gosh.
You know what? So just basically just watch out for your kids. Pay attention to anything as just a sneeze or a cough. They could, lead to more than just what it seems like to you. I'm going to actually post it once I clean it up, and then you all can see and look at them. But it's just beware. It's summertime. The kids want to play, and I know when you have your kids all year long, you want to get rid of them, but just be careful.
I try to tell Mama J to keep her hands washed. Wash your hands, a lot. And even when you don't feel like it, wash them. And if you notice that it's been a while, wash them then, you know.
And sanitizer, that hand sanitizer, that stuff, it does not beat soap and water. It does not.
But can I tell you, it seems like kids that are sheltered and don't get to go out in the world and do a lot of things, it seems like they get sick more than people that hang out and do whatever, because they build up an immunity to outside because they've been out there for so much. But kids that stay inside and
I'd take my chances, because half of those things you don't want to risk your kid getting.
Nah,
you don't want to go through it.
Nah, you said that fecal,
yeah, you got to be careful.
I had a bad thing this week.
I'm sorry if my child goes to the bathroom and does not wash his hands, and he comes out and he sits down. Now he's finished playing with your baby, and they throwing the ball back and forth, and your baby's crying, and she's wiping her face, and her hand crosses her mouth.
Oh, that's pink eye and some more stuff going on.
Come on.
It's not funny.
It's stuff kids do. But you can't help it.
I read somewhere that and this is absolutely going to be nasty and crass, but it is what it is. But they say that you find more fecal bacteria on your cell phone and your
Yes.
TV remote control
Yes.
than anywhere else in your house. Those two areas.
They do tests in kitchens, living rooms, bathrooms. Bathroom might end up being cleaner than your kitchen.
Yep.
So, I mean, really.
That's because when you do your business, you get up and leave and take your nasty ass hands everywhere else throughout your house. That's why you don't touch your sink. I bet your faucet, the knob on the faucet is the cleanest place in the house.
And what you don't want to do too, when you get lazy during the summer and you don't want to cook, don't go to the supermarket and buy foods that are already prepped with mayo.
Stop.
Don't do it. Don't do it. And when you look at food and you can tell it's brown on the end or it's a day old in the air.
I'm not eating fast food anymore because I
Don't
had
buy
something
it.
happen this weekend.
Don't buy it.
Michelle K is agreeing with me and you right now. She's saying there's some nasty ass people in the world.
Yes, you really have to be careful.
Should I tell 'em?
Cook your foods. If you clean chicken on something, scrub it. Whatever you cleaned that chicken on, you really
Bleach
should
it off.
bleach it up.
409, yeah.
You really should have separate cutting boards for your vegetables, your fruits, and your meats. You do not use the same thing because you will contaminate the next food. So, I mean, come on, y'all. I don't know.
I can dig it.
Turn down for what?
Ain't no hashtag.
You're so stupid.
Ain't no hashtag with Marcus J. That's why every week you bring us a healthier, wealthier, wise. And even though sometimes we make the face, but we know that we're all smarter when you bring it to us. So we appreciate it. Keep them coming. Ain't no hashtag with Marcus J. Live from the Dana Legacy Internet Radio. 804-402-2893 is the number to dial. We're going to take another break. And when we come back, we got some more what the hell, and in the final segment, we're going to ask 2 questions that's sure to get you riled up. Consensual sex and women in Father's Day. That's at the end. But before that, we're going to ask about this crazy-ass funeral in New Orleans. What teacher asked a student to call him that had the whole country riled up? And a couple names their children 2 of the craziest things that you'd ever want to hear. Marcus J. S.Y. Bless. Carlton Banks. Ain't no hashtag with Marcus J. Be back in a minute.